What's up, book lovers? Michellelahoney here. It has been a minute since I have posted a video. It's mostly because I'm so sad to report that I have not really been reading as much as I would like to, or that I wish that I had. I don't know if it's just because it was a busy month or if it's just because I'm in kind of a rut. I was so excited about October, and I was so excited about all the thrillers and the scary reads and things like that. And then for some reason, it fell so short, and I'm like so disappointed. I was like dreading making this video because I kept saying, oh, I'll get on it and I'll read more and I'll get to it, and it just didn't happen. And it was really sad for me because I think this one book in particular just really like set me off. As soon as I started listening to it, I just like couldn't get into it, and I kept spending all my time with it, and then I'd have to stop and go back. I actually had to renew my library like borrowing time with it because I had taken up too much time with it, and I've never done that before. I usually finish my audiobooks within a week because I'm like out and about, and so I feel like maybe that's part of it because I usually listen to it in the morning when I go for walks with my dog and when I'm exercising, and I really haven't been doing that this month. It's just been like, I don't know. I think it's a whole bunch of things. So instead of doing my like books for October that I've read, because I really think when it came down to it, I read maybe 2 books. I don't know what is wrong with me. So that is why I'm just going to go ahead instead and tell you about the last 8 books that I have read, because I really haven't done a monthly update in some time now. 8's my lucky number. I figured I'd go with that. So here we are. We're going to go over the last 8 books that I read, and we're going to jumpstart into November, and we're just going to forget about any bad karma, juju, whatever stuff that happened. I'm going to finish the current 3 books that I'm reading, and we're just going to move on. We're just going to move on because there's nothing you can do. I love to read. I don't want to lose that zest for reading, so I just got to power through this audiobook that's like killing me. I just cannot DNR it. I need to finish it. And we're just going to go from there. So let's go ahead and kick it off with the last 8 books that I've read. Okay, since I sold a couple of the books that I was reading, or they were on audio, I'm going to start with these 2 books because these ones are physical copies that I actually have. So I just finished A Flicker in the Dark, and this is by Stacey Willingham. This book was really good. I really liked it. Psychological thriller feels. And it just really kept you guessing the entire time. I really thought, I was like, oh man, I've got this figured out. I know what's happening. I know what this is going to be. I know who did it. I know who this is. Like, I thought I knew everything about this book because I read so many psychological thrillers. I was like, yeah, under wraps. No, no. Even after my original idea went, I was like, oh, okay, that wasn't right. It's going to be this. Nope, still wasn't. It kept me guessing the whole time. I could not actually guess what happened, and I love that about a book. So when my best friend recommended it to me, even though I thought I was like, yeah, I got this, girl, she's like, no, you don't. She was right. I definitely recommend this one to anyone that likes to keep guessing and not actually figure out what the ending is. Highly, highly recommend. 4-star. For sure. And the next one is The Stranger Upstairs. This one is almost conflicting for me because I really did like it, but there was a little bit of a piece that I was like, it just couldn't make the 5-star. Okay. So I really liked it. I would enjoy it and I would recommend it to others, but there was just something about it that wasn't like, yes, 5 stars. You know what I mean? But it was definitely 4-star, maybe even 4.5. Something like The Housemaid's Secret. That was just 5-star all the way, like couldn't say enough about it. I think maybe because it just like kept you going all the time, whereas maybe this had like a little bit more of like a lull sometimes. But definitely top recommendation. I loved it. I enjoyed it. I think that you would too. So definitely all the links to all these books will be down below. This next one by Britney Spears, The Woman in Me, was so good. I really, really enjoyed it. It only took me a few hours to sit down and read it. I didn't get to do it in one setting, though. I did have to do, a few hours one day and a few hours the next, but I have 3 kids. But I really liked hearing her point of view and her side of things. She definitely expressed a lot, and I really feel like she was genuine because the way she expressed things, she talks about like the realness and the genuineness of her story growing up and how it really was and what she went through and why she is the person she is today. If people got to see her side of things before everything went down, you know, we would have understood better. And that's the thing I think that her story touches a lot of people, is because we all have things that we go through, and she's no different. Celebrity or not, she still had an upbringing. She still had parents. She still had siblings. She still had trials and tribulations just like the rest of us. And when she became famous, yeah, it became a lot different, her trials and tribulations, but that doesn't mean that they didn't still happen. And she still grew up in a family that was, you know, a little bit broken. So I definitely think it's something for you to read. I don't know if I would say it's like a 5-star. It's hard to do like memoirs as like stars ratings, I feel like. But if I had to rate it stars, I'd probably like say 4, 4.5. Like, I just definitely think that it was really good. It was well written. I really enjoyed it. I wish she narrated it, because I did listen to it on audiobook. And I also wish that she added more, because I feel like it was a pretty quick synapse of her life, when I feel like there's definitely a lot more to unravel. But much respect for her, because you are not entitled to share your story with everybody. So I give it to her that she shared what she felt comfortable sharing, and I think she did a really great job with that. This next one, Pieces of Her, I don't know why. This one was really painful for me. I just like really couldn't get into it. I feel like it's not like it was a bad plot. It's just there was a lot of jumping from time frame to time frame, and there was like a lot of complex things about the characters. I know that kind of seems maybe weird, like an unintelligent thing to say, but sometimes I want to read and not really think too much into the story. And I just feel like there was like a lot going on, and I don't know, for whatever reason, it just wasn't really for me. It took me a long time to get through it, kind of struggled to get through it. It just wasn't one of my favorites. However, I feel like if you are a thriller fan, that this might be something that you'd be really interested in. I more like the psychological thrillers, where there's a lot more like behind the scenes and you have to do a lot of guessing, where this is kind of more just like, it's not really guessing, it's just kind of a laid out story, I suppose I would say. I don't know. I don't even know. It wasn't really thriller-ish to me either. I don't know. Something just fell short for me for this one. But there is a Netflix series that I do feel like I want to try out, just in case I will prefer the, video form of it, which usually I love to read the book, and the, videos come later, and I'm never usually as much of a fan. But I feel like I'm going to try out the Netflix and see if I like it better. But I don't know. It fell short for me. Happy Place. This one got a lot of flack with a lot of people. I don't know. I also wouldn't say that this was my favorite. I definitely didn't think it was as terrible as people said it was. I thought it was an okay story, pretty average. Definitely a little bit more of an exaggerated experience, I'd say, than probably most people would actually have. But it was an okay for me. Maybe like a 3-star. I didn't shit on her as much as other people did. I didn't think it was that bad. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I actually really enjoyed this one. There is 3 or 4 more books to it in the series. I haven't got to them yet, but I definitely am going to. I did enjoy it. It's a really good young adult version of, like a thriller mystery type thing, suspenseful. I think it definitely kept you engaged and you wanted more, and it was something that I was able to put down, but I definitely always look forward to coming back to the story and reading. So I do look forward to the next few books in the series, and I can get back to you about those when I get to them. Meet Me at the Lake. Also, I thought it was a pretty good average story. I wouldn't say it's something that I'll remember forever. I definitely also didn't give this as much, criticism as a lot of people did. People were mad at Carly Fortune for this book. I didn't go that route. I thought it was pretty okay. It wasn't something like wonderful, but it wasn't terrible either. It was a nice little fluff read, I would say, to, get you through a couple of summer nights or something like that. I would still recommend it. I thought it was a pretty okay book. And The Quiet Girl. I actually really liked this one. It kept me going. There was a lot of surprises. Couldn't always predict what was going on. Definitely something different. I kind of just found this one on a whim, but I actually really enjoyed it. So I would definitely recommend this one to somebody who has never read this book before. I don't even know this author. I don't think I've ever read anything else from this author before, but I definitely would be interested in checking out some more things from this person. This video ended up having to be a little bit quicker than I had anticipated, but my family has decided to have game night in the other room, and they're being extremely loud. And so I'm talking a little bit quieter, but these are the last 8 books that I have read. I haven't done a catch up in quite some time now, so I really wanted to put it out there to kind of give you an overall understanding of what I've read in the last couple of months. I definitely have more, but this season is cold season, so I'll definitely be in the house reading more, and I'm really excited about that. But the next thing on my list that I do want to share with you before I go is I'm reading this one next, The Atomic Habits. I've been wanting to read it for so long. I already started it, just like the beginning part, like the prologue, and I'm really, really excited. I have a lot of things that I want to work on in my personal life, so I'm really hoping that this book will give me some clarification and some ideas of how to keep it going and how to, better my life, because I really need it right now. So if you have read this one, please let me know what you think down in the comments down below. If you want to read this one, I'm also going to have a link to it in the comments down below. And don't forget to check out my blog, pagesandcorners.com. I'm so excited to share all kinds of bookish things on there, and I'm really interested to hear what other people think about it and what you want to see on that blog. So definitely check me out and follow me on Instagram and TikTok and all the good things. And I'll see you in the next one.